Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
I've interviewed Martin Scorsese, I think it was 2 times in the past, and every time that I've interviewed him, he displays an amazing amount of enthusiasm, considering particularly how long he's been in this business for. Is that contagious to you?
It is contagious. His enthusiasm comes from a genuine love of movies. I mean, this is not something that he puts on. This is what he does in his spare time. He goes and he watches movies every day of his life. It's a love of his art form, and he's a true fan of cinemaphile and fan of movies, but it hasn't affected him as in a filmmaker in a negative way. In other words, he doesn't have these heroic masterpieces that he feels he can never do better than. He's still paving the way as a filmmaker nowadays, and that's hard to do if you love movies that much.
This looks like this must have been a fairly physical role for you in terms of rain and wind and all that type of stuff.
It was very physical, and it was very emotionally draining. The whole process of being sort of locked in on this island and being at an abandoned mental ward, and understanding the backstory of who this man is, what happened to him. It was like the very complex jigsaw puzzle that we were constantly trying to pick apart and put back together again. But it was fantastic to have a partner like Martin Scorsese in the process, because he empowers you as an actor, but ultimately guides you to where he needs you to go for the audience, and that's an important teacher to have in a film like this.
I just interviewed Jim Cameron for Avatar in London, and if you could compare the working with Martin versus working with Jim, how are they different?
How are they different? I mean, they are different types of directors. Both of them are visionaries, and both of them are amazing at their craft. Obviously, Jim is somebody he's a throwback to like John Ford or something like that, or these great filmmakers that are from the past that have done these unbelievable epics and know exactly what they want from the onset. And you have to, before you sign on, you have to agree that you're doing that same journey. And I loved the process of making that movie, and I also loved the outcome. It's been different with Marty now because we've done 4 movies together, so it's a little different to compare because it's been a lot more of a partnership in the last few at least.